What's up, YouTube? My name's Alex. Never made a YouTube video before. I'm pretty nervous about what's going on, but I thought I'd try my hand at it. I'm going to make a coat rack today. I noticed in my office that I had a good place to put one instead of throwing my coat all over chairs, and I've got to looking for them on Amazon and different places, and they're crazy expensive. So I'm going to build one. You can build one with just some basic tools, some cheap materials, and I bought some hooks off of Amazon. That's all there is to it. So here we go. YouTube, like I told you, this is my first video, and I screwed up on getting the narration or the audio on this first segment here, so I'm just going to narrate over it. Basically what I'm telling you is I'm going to do a 28-inch board that'll allow for 5 hooks with 2-inch overhang on each side. Now that I got the board cut, I'm going to do the layout for my hooks. I didn't mention earlier, I'm just using a 1x8 pine from a big box store, Lowe's or Home Depot or something. And I'm actually going to paint mine black, and I'll dress it up a little bit, probably sand the edges, give it an aged look. But because I'm painting it, I don't have to be real careful with my marks because they're going to be covered anyway. Alright, I've got my layout done. I propped the board up here just so I can show you what I did. First mark at 2 inches, and then every 6 inches all the way across. Give me lines for 5 hooks. And then I came down from the top and the bottom, just the width of my framing square, which is just a little bit over 2 inches, because I'm going to put these hooks in a staggered pattern. I'll put 3 at the top and 2 at the bottom, just to give it a more decorative look. I'll lay the hooks out here in just a second and show you what that's going to look like. Now that I've got everything laid out and like the way it looks, I'm going to go ahead and screw them down, because that'll put a permanent hole in my board so that it'll be easy to come back to after it's painted. So I'm going to immediately take them off once I get these mounted. Just to give y'all a quick look of what it's going to look like before I take it back apart. We're going to take the hooks back off next and dress up the edges a little bit, and then we'll put some paint on it. To dress the edges up, make it look a little nicer, I'm going to put this router bit in my router and run it around the outside edges, all 4 sides, and I'll let you watch that and show you what it looks like. Alright, I've already got my router set for the depth that I'm wanting this to be, and I've got my clamp set up where I should be able to do 3 edges at one time, and then we'll turn it around and do the 4th side. run the router around all the edges. They all turned out real nice. I've got some spray paint and primer all in one, black and a satin finish. We're going to give this a coat, and then we'll let it dry a little while, dress the edges, and put it all together. Well, it's been 24 hours. The paint's dry. I'm gonna run around the edges of it with some sandpaper. I'm using a 220 grit. I like using the, I think they call it wall sandpaper. It's used for sheetrock. It's got the holes in it. It doesn't seem to stop up as easy, so I like it better. We're just gonna run around the edges, kind of knock some of the paint off the sharp points, give it an aged look, and show you what that looks like. When I took a look at how nice the edges turned out from sanding them, I decided I was going to go ahead and weather the whole surface of the coat rack, so I sanded the face of the board as well. It's important to remember when you do this to stay with the grain and use a light pressure. When I screwed the hooks to the board the first time, I noticed as I was manipulating it that the screws actually poked through the back of the board just a little bit. So here I'm just dressing the tips of the screws on my bench grinder. It won't affect anything since the holes are already there. They'll screw in just fine.